Okay, so here's something to think about. Most people believe motivation is the key to success, but what if I told you it's actually one of the biggest reasons people fail?
Oh, that's an interesting way to start. So you're saying motivation might not be as helpful as we think?
Exactly. Motivation feels great in the moment. It's exciting, it's energizing, but it's also unreliable. It's like a spark that flares up and then burns out just as quickly.
That makes sense. I mean, how many times have we all felt super motivated to start something, only to lose steam a few days or weeks later?
Right, and that's the problem. People rely on motivation to carry them through, but when it fades, they're left with nothing to keep them going. That's where discipline comes in.
So discipline is the alternative to motivation?
It's not just an alternative, it's the foundation. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel in the moment. It's about doing what needs to be done, no matter what.
That sounds simple in theory, but I imagine it's a lot harder in practice.
Oh, absolutely. Discipline is hard because it often means choosing discomfort in the short term for long term gain. And let's be honest, most of us don't like being uncomfortable.
No, we really don't. So how do you actually build discipline? Is it something you can just decide to have, or does it take time?
It definitely takes time. The key is to start small. Most people try to change everything at once. They set these huge goals and expect to stick to them overnight. But that's a recipe for burnout.
So instead of going all in, you focus on small, manageable steps.
Exactly. You pick one thing, one small action, and commit to doing it consistently. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency.
That's interesting. So it's less about how much you do and more about how often you do it.
Yes, because consistency builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce the idea that you're someone who keeps their word.
And I guess the opposite is true too, right? If you don't follow through, you're breaking that trust with yourself.
Exactly. And that's why discipline is so closely tied to identity. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you become.
So someone who is disciplined is someone who follows through, no matter how they feel in the moment.
That's exactly it. Discipline removes emotion from the equation. Instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? You ask, does this need to be done?
That's such a powerful shift in mindset. But I imagine it's not easy to make that shift, especially if you're used to relying on motivation.
It's definitely a challenge, but it's not impossible. The key is to start small and build momentum. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds discipline.
So if someone listening right now is struggling to stay consistent, what's the first step they should take?
The first step is to stop waiting for motivation. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start. Pick one small action and commit to doing it every day, no matter what.
Even on the days when you don't feel like it.
Especially on those days. That's when discipline is really built. It's easy to follow through when you're motivated, but the real test is what you do when you're not.
That's such a good point. So it's really about consistency over intensity.
Always, small, consistent actions compound over time and lead to massive change.
That reminds me of something I read recently about habits. It said that habits are like compound interest for your personal development. The small things you do every day add up to big results over time.
That's a great analogy. And it's true. Discipline and habits go hand in hand. When you're disciplined, you're essentially building habits that support your goals.
So it's not just about willpower or self-control. It's about creating systems and routines that make it easier to stay consistent.
Exactly. And that's where your environment comes into play. Your environment can either support your discipline or work against it.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you give an example of how your environment might affect your discipline?
Sure, let's say you're trying to eat healthier. If your kitchen is stocked with junk food, it's going to be a lot harder to stick to your plan. But if you fill your kitchen with healthy options, you're setting yourself up for success.
So it's about removing obstacles and making it easier to do the right thing.
Exactly. Your environment should make it easier to follow through on your commitments and harder to give in to temptation.
That's such a practical tip. I think a lot of people underestimate the impact their environment has on their behaviour.
Absolutely. And that's something we're going to dive deeper into in our next episode. How to design an environment that supports your goals and helps you stay disciplined.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to give people a whole new perspective on how they approach their goals.
It definitely will. But for now, the key takeaway is this. stop relying on motivation, and start building discipline. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
And it all starts with small, consistent actions.
Exactly. Because those small actions, repeated daily, can lead to massive change over time.
That's such a powerful message to end on. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
I hope so. Because at the end of the day, discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't.
Well, I think we've given people a lot to think about today. Let's wrap it up here and pick up next time with how to create an environment that supports your discipline.
Sounds good. Until next time. If you want to go deeper, the full framework is available inside the Adult Manual. Link is in the description, or search The Adult Manual by Ian Price on Amazon. It's available on Kindle, hardback and paperback, and the audiobook is available from April 2026.